Okay, this video is hopefully going to explain how to pull in data from either another sheet or another workbook into a different sheet in Excel. All right, first of all, if you are trying to pull in information from a different file or workbook altogether, you have to make sure that the files are, well, at least to make this easier, make sure the files are in the same directory, in the same folder, and that the files don't have any spaces in their file names. So as you can see here, I've got an Excel spreadsheet called test and an Excel spreadsheet called test2. Okay, so let's look at those two spreadsheets. All right, so on the left here, I'm dealing with my test spreadsheet. And you can see, let's see here, let me go back to sheet 1. So on sheet 1 of my test spreadsheet, in column A, I simply have 1, 2, and 3. I have numeric values for the first 3 rows. On sheet 2 of that same spreadsheet, in column A, I have the letters A, B, and C. Okay, so let's start by seeing if we can pull in the data from this separate sheet onto sheet 1. So in other words, I want A, B, C to appear in column B, and it's being pulled from column A of sheet 2. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to really pull it in a cell at a time, and then use copy and paste to get the rest to show up. So I need to use my equal sign, and I'm just going to identify sheet, let's see, caps lock, sheet 2. So I need to specify the sheet name specifically. It's sheet 2, so I'm going to write sheet 2, and then I'm going to put an exclamation point. That tells Excel that that is the we're actually going to another sheet. Now I can identify the cell name. So I want to pull the information from cell A1 to start. So if you remember, on sheet 2 in cell A1 it was the letter A. So if I hit enter, I get the letter A to show up here. And what it's doing is it's pulling it from the other spreadsheet. And what's cool about this, let's see if this works, is if I put the letter G here, for example, in cell A1, go back to sheet 1, look at that, it's changed to G. So this is really nice, so it updates on the fly if that information changes. All right, let me put this back to A. But how do I get the rest in? I need this B and C to show up on sheet 1. Well, it's just going to be a copy-paste thing. So since Excel by default uses a relative paste, it's going to change my reference to A1 to be A2 when I paste it in this next cell. So I'm just going to hit Control V and Control V. And in fact, I could have selected a whole range and just done Control V, I believe. All right, so now A, B, C, these are being pulled in from sheet 2. Now, the next question is, all right, that's fine. What if in my second file, over here on the right-hand side, you can see I have the file test2 open. And on sheet 1, I have in the first column X, Y, and Z. This is in column A. Well, what if I need to take this information and put it in column C of my first spreadsheet? Okay, well, here's how we do it. So let's see, up here in C, I'm going to put the equal sign again. And now I need to use my square bracket, and I need to give the name of the Excel workbook that I'm referencing. In this case, it's test2 .xlsx. That's the file name specifically. I'm going to close my square brackets. Now I'm going to basically use the same approach we did before. I'm going to say sheet 1, because I have to identify the fact that this is on sheet 1, put an exclamation point, and then A1. So basically I'm going to be pulling the letter X in from here, and it should appear in my column C. So let's hit enter, and there it is. Oh, another thing of note, both files have to be open at the same time. Once again, just to make this as easy as possible, both have to be open at the same time. And if I want to get the rest of these in, what I can do, let's see if this works. I'm going to copy this cell, and I'm actually going to paste across multiple cells. Let's see if this works. Yep, sure enough, there it is, Y and Z. And of course, if I were to change this to, I don't know, P, aha, changed right there. Pretty slick. Now, there are things that could be done, for example, if your file name has spaces or special characters in it. Or what if the second file were closed and you still wanted to reference it? And that's fine. It gets more complex. I think for your purposes, if you just have both files open, it's just going to be easier. Hopefully that helps.